Hi, we're live now. I'm Simon Bown of the Past Lives podcast, and I'd like to thank the Seeking Heaven channel for having us here today for this live chat. Today we're talking with Tamara Caulder Richardson, known as the Southern Belle Medium, and we're promoting an event that's happening on Saturday, 22nd of May. We'll be doing 2 medium demonstration shows, one at 2 p.m. EST and one at 7 p.m. EST. Tamara has done a lot of these sort of live shows with audiences, and you can get your tickets now by going to my website, which is the pastliveshypnosis.co.uk, and you click on the mediumship demonstration session there, and you can get through to buy tickets at either of those events. The purpose today is to go over the benefits of mediumship and the closure mediumship readings offer people, and have you meet the guest medium and get your spiritual questions answered. And today we're going to have 2 guests coming on the show that Tamara will read live. But first, I want to ask Tamara some questions about her mediumship. So, Tamara, hello, how are you?
Hello, thank you for hosting this and putting this together. This is exciting because this was really your brainchild. You said, hey, we met. I was on your Past Life podcast. You were on the Seeking Heaven channel, and your segment did really well. It got people really excited. And so you presented this to me and said, hey, people really need this healing hope. And I thought, okay, sure, we could do this thing online. Everything I've done many online Zoom type things actually the past 10 years. And most of my readings are that way, even with private readings. But I've done a lot of stage work too with mediumship, but this works just as well. I mean, spirit does not need to be in person. They can be multiple places. So thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, because it's an energetic thing, isn't it? That
Yes.
you don't need to be sitting at a table with a crystal ball in front of you with a person opposite you. There's the spirit has the connection through some energy, some interdimensional connection that's all through the mind and consciousness, isn't it? And it doesn't matter on your location.
You're
Because
right.
I was going to say, when I do past life regressions, I work over Zoom, and I work with people over the USA and Australia and New Zealand and all over the world, and it works just great through Zoom, and just like mediumship does.
Yeah, it's true. And I think that people are, as you know, with past lives and uh wow, the topic of us is a lot bigger. I always say the greatest spiritual journey is ourselves. We are spirit. That's why some people said, are you nervous to talk to spirit? I'm like, no, we're spirit. And the spirit people I talk to at a higher ascended level, they're in more of what you would call the heaven angelic realm. So they're actually a higher vibration than us. Actually, they've never steered me wrong. They've always come through in love, and I really like dealing with them sometimes better than people, because people sometimes have they're not always true within themselves and their responses. But spirit people, they're in the environment of the divine, so they're just a love vibration. So I feel very honored to be able to do this work. And yeah, it works great. I do readings all over the world. I've done readings in places I don't even know where they all are. I mean, like Croatia, little places in Guatemala that I don't know where they are. I mean, seriously. And to me, it's I think there's quite a movement of people spiritually awakening and opening up and seeing that there's so much more than we've all been told, including life goes on. And that's one of the things when I was on your show. I talked about my 6 near-death experiences, and then I talked about Jesus a lot because he was in a big one in when I was 5 years old, and I spent 3 days with him, whatever 3 days equaled over there. But but yeah, life does continue, and they very much so our family, angels, guides. They very much so care about what we're doing here and that we're on our path, but more importantly, that we're happy. And a lot of people aren't happy, but it's our responsibility to move past our blocks and our grief and whatever we have going on so we can be happy. I mean, it's just a work in progress. I mean, no one should feel bad about that, but we should at least aim toward that.
So, how long have you been able to communicate with spirits? Is it something you just always done?
It's funny. Yeah, pretty much. I remember at 3 years old, I was seeing the physical people, but they were people that I knew, but they had crossed over, and I did not know that. For example, I had an uncle, and he used to, as a baby, supply. He worked at I don't know, it doesn't make sense, but he worked at a hardware store. I guess it was like a country store, and they also had baby milk, Simulac. So he would deliver that, and then as I got maybe 2, 3 years old, I would go over to his place, and it was my grandmother's sister's husband, so my great aunt, and I would go over to her place, and they were upstairs from my great grandmother, which is weird. I only met her once. She was kind of a recluse. She was a little teeny person, mean little teeny person. And so they lived upstairs, and he always cooked me eggs. Every time I think about eggs, I think about him. So we eventually, years later, didn't move. We didn't live in Hickory, and we moved to another city. It was Hickory, North Carolina. It's like the foothills of the mountains. So we moved to another city, well, a bigger city. And so one night I woke up, and he opened my door in the bedroom, and he goes, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Fine." And he goes, "I'm just wanting to check on you. I just want to say hey." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And I could actually see him as a solid. And I said, but I was half sleepy, but I woke up, and there he is. I mean, he's totally solid. And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, I just want to check you on. You want to tell you I'm fine. Want to see how you're doing." He said, "But I got a lot of things to do. I can't stay long." I was like, "Okay." He said, "Well, I just want to let you know I love you." And I was like, "Okay." And then I was like, "Okay." It seemed so normal to me till the next day I woke up, and I'm like, "What's he doing here? I hadn't seen him in years." So that's an example of that. But I think that my near-death experiences really enhanced this ability to communicate, see, and know things. Also psychic, the knowing, clairvoyant, whatever knowing. As a seer, definitely each one enhanced it more and more. But later, as an adult, after much really prayer and struggling, I was like, should I come out with this? This is so, I used to own an advertising agency for years. Should I come out with this? I mean, this is kind of esoteric. But in reality, it was really who I was. It's part of my innate nature. And so I did. And then I got training. I studied 8 years in the British evidential style of mediumship. Because to me, I think whatever you do, you should have training, and you should have worldly certifications. People need to have that. Yeah, I'm certified by God, but to get the additional training to have a standard of excellence, which is why I can do mediumship with other mediums around the world if they're evidential mediums, because we're trained the same way. So I love that standard. I love being able to give some type of evidence to a person. The evidence is not for me; it's for that person. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm saying. I get it how it feels. I try to keep it clean as it comes in. I try not to add anything to it. If I get pinky pig, that's what I give you. Some people go, no. Later on, they go, oh, my dad gave me a pink pig. I'm like, well, that might be it. So sometimes they'll leave you things so you can look at later on. And it's sort of like a treasure hunt. The family has this Bible, and it's got this thing in it with the lace doily that was your great grandmother's, and in that is this and that. And they're like, I think it's around. I don't know who has it. So they give you like little treasure hunts. It's cute because I think they want the gift that keeps giving to keep giving. I think it's not just the reading in here now or the divine energy that we're working with, but it's also they're a part of your life. They never really went anywhere. They can multitask. They can be here and also on the other side, but we're bound by the love.
And that's the thing about being an evidential medium, is to bring through information from the spirit world that confirms, it's evidence that shows that they have survived, they're still there. And you'll be bringing through information that is, that can confirm that they are still there in a way. It's not just like you would be quoting facts and figures that you could look up on the internet. It's more emotional things. Yeah.
It's creepy.
And also,
Yeah.
there's something about that. It's like people say, well, the medium could have looked it all up on Facebook. And I think, yeah, but the medium's got a lot of sittings. Where are they going to find the time to be researching on Facebook for hours, looking up
Oh
people's
my
details?
God. Okay, first of all, that's really creepy. I'm going to put the information here, not to cover you up, but as far as the medium event, this was again Simon's idea. Thank you so much for offering healing to people. But I think we've got it for $29.99, but we're going to have a full 2 hours. It's going to be good. We're going to do readings. I'm going to explain things. I'm going to answer questions. It's going to be really good. I know it's always different with each crowd, but we have a 2 and a 7 p.m. So I'm putting it here. You can see the past life hypnosis .co.uk/mediumship demonstration. It's kind of long, but that's okay. If you, we'll have it down below and so forth. So you don't need to remember all of that. But I did,
Well,
and I'll put it back up again in a minute.
I'll tell you how this idea came to me, because it was that in that space between being asleep and awake is when I'd just woken up, and this idea for this kind of session just suddenly came to me. And I wonder if when you're in that state of mind is when you're most open to spirit, particularly somebody like me who has no mediumship ability. And so I wonder if this idea was given to me from somewhere else because I was in that
Yeah.
open state of mind.
Well, I think everybody's like that. And what's interesting to me, and I'll tell you, I definitely say yes. And I also disagree with you. For you to be able to do what you do as a past life regressionist, and you've done it yourself as the client on the other side. Uh, I mean, you have to be brave. I mean, it's ultimately fantastic and healing, but some of the stuff you go through is a bit it's a bit walking through the mud for a while, and then you come out on the other side and you feel great and it's empowering. But I think you're naturally intuitive, and of course I know you're a bass player. I'm very impressed by your funkadelic bass skills, uh, which I'm trying to learn bass. I mean, I'm like, just because it's just something I've always wanted to do, and I think you can always pick up, because we're an eternal spiritual being. Yeah, our bodies get older, but who cares? I mean, I started in my 40s hop keto and became a black belt after 8 years. So and 2 broken bones. I mean, it was really tough. I got to be honest. It was hard ass, but I did it. And so you can do anything and go into any area. As far as intuition, I think, yes, when you're in anyone yourself, I think you're very intuitive, a lot more than you give yourself credit for. And I think that's how you pivot and choose people and work with people. You've got really good discernment, and you can tell right away if someone's a good person or not. So that is, I like that about you. You're very polite and don't say you're cruddy, but you pick people you want to work with because you can tell that their intention is good or not. And I think that if you listen to that, in your gut about someone, that you will get the right answer. But so many people want to make excuses for others and go, well, they're probably really nice. And then 6 months later, they find out the very thing that they thought in the first 30 seconds of meeting someone, because usually your intuition is correct. So intuition, I feel like that there's something that's going on now that's really exciting for a lot of people, is that there is you hear this great awakening. I mean, look, I don't have labels. I don't know what you call it, but I do feel a shift, and a lot of people like me globally, all over the world, because I'm connected to people like me, like I was saying, Priscilla Grindon or Leo Bonomo in South Africa and UK. Um, we're all feeling a shift. We're feeling it in our bodies. We're feeling it a shift. We're feeling a movement. We're seeing a lot of light workers and creative types, artists, musicians, painters, poets, writers, spiritually inclined people, healers, intuitive, seers, all these kinds of people are really stepping out. And they're usually people that are lone wolves. They don't like to step out. Like look at you, you're stepped out. You're naturally sort of shy. I mean, you step right out, and offering all these on your shows, so many interesting guests to get people thinking. So I think it's a time that the veil is a little bit thinner. It's a great time to really connect with yourself and our own intuition, but to know that our spirit family is around. A lot of people can feel them. It's very subtle and sweet. And sometimes they'll leave signs. Like, for example, I was thinking about my grandparents the other day, and they were so beautiful. They were the most bright red cardinals, and they flew just a few feet in front of me, and they flew together like they were almost dancing in the sky. And I'm like, it came out of nowhere. And they were so red, they were almost Technicolor. And it was, I don't know, it just seemed like a beautiful moment. But I think that we're so busy and distracted that we don't always pick up on the subtle and small things around us. And in order to do that, we have to put our cell phone down and social media. Sorry, guys, you gotta, you know what? I'm just saying, you need to have hours that is your time that you cut everything off, right? Or you monitor it, like if you're expecting an important call, that's fine. Look, but otherwise put it down and have discipline and have your own boundaries so you can fill your own spirit.
Yeah, yeah. It's so often, it's just the slightest little thing that you're not interested in happens around you, and you straight away you pick up your phone and start looking at it. Maybe it's just when you're watching the TV and the ads come on, you just pick your phone up.
I do that. It's bad. It's so bad you say that. My God, my husband, he'll start. I'm like, what are you doing? We're supposed to be like, especially if it's like, Friday or Saturday night. And I was like, okay, it's later, let's watch, I know, some probably crappy sci-fi movie or whatever. I'm like, what are you doing? Because I'm just checking stuff. I said, are you on social media again? And he's not even a social media person. He's one who never responds. He just kind of, he's like looks at stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? Do I need to throw it out the door? I mean, can't you just be present? And then he'll go, well, I just need to look at a couple things. I need to figure out how to fix the lawnmower. I'm going, okay, fine. So I'll look at Zulily while you're doing that. But the point is, you really shouldn't, to put it away, whether it's the laptop or the cell phone, because to me, I think that it has its purpose. But I think that it can be invasive to our own personal space, and we need to get in touch with ourselves, and we need to fall in love with ourselves. So many things that I see doing medium readings around the world is that people don't feel good enough. I don't even know what that means. I mean, we're all broken. I mean, just, we're not perfect. I mean, we're all a work in progress. So that's the beauty that makes us all different. That's why I don't understand all this confusion and so forth and censorship. I love to hear other people's views. I think it's fascinating. I mean, I don't have to agree with them, or maybe I don't know what to think about it, but I think it's fascinating. But we need to honor our own voice.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can hear other voices. So we can hear other voices.
I wanted to ask you about with this thing that we're doing, where you will have all these people who have bought tickets, and they'll be able to watch everything that happens, and they may get a message. There's no guarantee that you'll connect with them that evening. But from your side, do you get the feeling that there's kind of like a queue, a whole queue of spirits waiting to take their turn to communicate through you? Do you have somebody over the other side who is a kind of, I don't know, a gatekeeper or a master of ceremonies who decides who's next?
Those are really good questions. Yes, both. So how this works, and I think I make a joke, but I'm not kidding. Usually before I do, it doesn't matter if it's a individual one-on-one private reading, or if it's on stage, where I usually, if I go to the bathroom, they show up in the bathroom first thing. And I'm like, or they do. Or like if I'm eating right beforehand, I got to get, they're like, show up there, but they like to show up in the bathroom. And I think the reason being is that, not that they like bathrooms, is because I'm quiet and they're able to get my attention. It's both ways. Yes, they're lined up. They've already decided who's the spokesperson for today. Now, in life, if someone was really gregarious in life, you won't recognize them unless they come through like, woohoo, you wouldn't know who they were. So are they that way on the angelic heavenly plane? They're probably a lot more chilling. honestly, they're more their true soul self, and they don't have this as they still have a portion of their personality. And of course, I'm sure you see this in past lives that people, even though we're all different things, all different, male, female, this, that, rich, poor, but there are some threads that you might see. Same thing as with people that have crossed over, but usually they'll pick out who's going to speak. Sometimes I've had, like my grandmother, she's always here on all of these. She gets real excited. She feels like she's the, like matron here to to get everybody going. But they will have their spokesperson and they'll decide who's going to talk next. Sometimes the stronger people in spirit they will help the ones that are a little shy, or if they're not used to communicating to mediums. But I will say this, if I do a medium one-on-one or demonstration live, whether it's in public or online, and if I make a connection with someone and the spirit family comes through, it doesn't matter. I could have 2,000 people in the audience. Guess who's going to come through again? That same person I read, because the spirit family goes, we know, Tamara, it's good. We're like this now. And they know how it works. So they just blast to the front. And it's a common thing. So not only with me, but with other mediums. So it's a bit funny because they get excited learning how they can communicate. And it is otherworldly. I don't really know exactly how it works. I was kind of afraid to show this for so long, but it helps so many. It's really not about me. It's really a being of service and helping others.
And so there are different things we call clairs, aren't there? There's clairvoyance, clairaudience. Which clairs are you talented in? Have you got a bit of all of them?
Okay, talent and ability. So I have all the clairs, which clairvoyant just means sing. And there's levels, kind of like playing bass, right? There's like ultra beginner like me, and there's expert like you, or close to the expert. Or maybe there's someone even more like Mozarty bass person, more than you. I don't know. You're pretty good, but there's levels of that, and so I can see, hear, feel, and know. And I think the highest one is knowing. I also channel. I've channeled Jesus a lot under my Jesus Speaks, because I saw him on my near-death experience, and he talks to me all the time. He's very funny. I've also channeled Mother Mary, George Harrison. That's interesting. As well as some saints, some other religions, and you got to think, we're all working together. They're a high vibration. They're coming in with a message of love, and they'll say who they are. I'm also a physical medium. I can walk like them. I transfigure, so I can turn into someone's grandmother. I think that's really cool when that happens. Because when I do the huggy thing on stage, I've had people take pictures, and you can see my face change. And there was a lady that came through that apparently had really sweet grandmother that was coming across to her granddaughter like a mother, and her. Apparently, I didn't know till later, but she had a stroke, so her lip was kind of weird. So in the pictures, my lips morphed up here, and I don't think it's strange, because I don't let her possess you. That's kind of weird. I just let her blend with me, and I really like her. It's like a hug. I really like this woman. I said, okay. It only lasted a few seconds, but yeah, you can see them. Mediums can do that. They can use the ectoplasm, not to get weird, but they have a different energy about them, and so I don't plan to do that. They just start doing that. But it's like a kiss. You don't kiss everybody. It's I don't let everybody do that. I check them out first. I'm like, all right, I know you love her. She's been sick. Okay. So, and I let them share my space for like a whoopee thing. But yeah, I've spoken different languages that I don't know: Egyptian, French, Vietnamese, Portuguese, and they'll say something to their person in front of them that's beautiful, like about it's a love thing, whatever they say. And so I always say I'm just God's love puppet. I don't know what's going to happen. I am trying to feel energy and different spirits and which one and so forth. But again, I'm just here to be a vessel for the person in front of me so they can get a healing. And it's just not just the words, but it's also working with that divine energy too.
So you're going to be doing two demonstrations this
I,
evening
I yes, I
with,
am.
with two guests. What we will see this evening, is this pretty much what people will be able to see and perhaps experience when they come onto that evening on May 22nd?
Um, yes and no. Know that all readings are different. Why? Because we're different. What might communicate to me might not communicate to you, right? Maybe they would have to be, it depends. Sometimes some people like need to laugh and go, oh my God, yes, I remember us doing that. And they know they're there. So, yes, it will be. But I will say this, when I'm doing group demonstrations and live readings, it's amazing. And I've got to say this is so cool. Spirit, and it blows my mind. I don't know how they can do it. Spirit can have a message that's for you, but it's designed to be for everybody. Not only are those words have energy and they transform and heal because we're working with the divine and God, angelic angels, and I'll always, yeah, I got my angel posse, and so Team God, and so they already know the people there. All the relatives know the other relatives that are in there. Many times you'll see similarities in a theme. I don't know with me, I guess because I like gift giving with themes and certain colors. I'm very matchy match. They like doing themes with readings. Now we won't get into themes now because we won't have that long for to kind of pull the thread longer. We'll just give a snippet to let people know who's around them and how much they're loved.
Yeah, this is excellent. And so the two guests this evening are Donna and Candice, and also perhaps myself. If we don't read me tonight, it might be
Okay.
next week.
Yep.
And because we'll be doing this again next Thursday, having more discussions and more demonstrating what this is going to be like. And there's a lot of tickets available because we wanted to make this available to as many people as possible and see this evidence of the afterlife. And if you could come take part in this, and you might not get a reading, but you can see that what comes through, it's like a thing where people get a lot of comfort from it, seeing the proof, even though they don't get a reading themselves. And it's like all the books I read of all these different people I've had on my podcast, and all the information I've had from them, whether it's been near-death experiences or people with past life memories or deathbed visions. You start to get a sense of the greater sort of universe, and that you get an idea that the afterlife and what happens to it is it's just part of nature, and we only have a very small sort of kind of viewpoint in our human bodies of nature, because we know that we can't see the whole light spectrum with human eyes, and our ears can't hear all the sounds there are. But I think that there's a lot more dimensions, and they talk about vibrations and higher vibrations that we just cannot perceive. And
Yeah.
we're lucky that we have people like Tamara who can really contact the spirits and bring this information through. And it's just amazing, and I love seeing this stuff, and I've loved going to and sitting with mediums, and also seeing things that come up in past life regressions when I take people through them. Just amazing stuff happens.
Well, and with that said, we can have some audio issues. I'm going to tell them back off, but that can happen. I've also heard playbacks where you can hear spirit talking on the playback underneath the whatever. So who knows? You know what? It's, to me, it's magical. I know what I'm working with, the higher vibration people, because that's how I roll. I roll with one God. So it's going to be good. So I get excited. I don't know what spirit has planned. I will say that you don't have to be in person. That everyone that's watching this, whether it's live or replay, you can still get some kind of healing, because all mediums are healers, and they open a portal to God. Now, not all of them. Some may work at lower vibration, but also channel at the higher level. So I'm excited about our people here today. And I haven't, let me just say this to people watching. I don't know Donna. I'm sure she's great. I know Candace, which I interviewed her. She's coming up, not this Thursday, but next Thursday and Friday live chat. And I just want to make this kind of disclaimer and let everybody know. she wrote a book called The Reluctant Messenger, where she became, getting messages, out of the blue. She was never like me, strange. She was a normal person for a long time as a psychotherapist and worked for a school. So I don't know her background. I don't know anything personal about her. I think she's a very lovely person, bubbly, but I don't know anything about them. And just want to let people know I don't know about their personal stuff. I usually don't go, "Hi, how are you? Tell me your personal stuff." So we'll see how this goes today. So, I mean, if you want to, we can bring on Donna.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. So here we go. Thanks, Simon. Okay, here we go. Hey, Donna.
Hey, Tamara. Thank you for having us on the Seeking Heaven YouTube channel. Thanks for having us on the live chat. And I am Donna Rebido, and I'm just going to do a couple of quick things. I'm a sports medicine acupuncturist, and I am host.
Okay. Go ahead.
One last thing would be I'm host of the Exploring Consciousness podcast, and that's all I'm going to tell you.
Exploring Consciousness. Ooh, it sounds like you might need to be a guest. And
wait a minute,
you got two hosts right here. You got Simon has a show, and so do I. Wait a minute, man. Did Candace set us up good or what?
She did.
I just love our soul community. And you know what? I have to say this, and then we're going to jump on to we're going to ride this soul train with your family here. Okay. But with Candace, I was told by Spirit to pick her out. And I'm like, sorry, Candace. I'm like, who is that woman? Then I'm like, then when I met her, I went, oh my God, I get it. She's awesome. So, I'm not impressed by if you write $200. I'm impressed by what's in your heart and what you share with the world. So thank you for being here and what you're doing. Okay, so let's see who's here for you. So I just need a yes or a no. I just need to know when I'm going to present them, a male, female, and then you let me know, yes, I understand this. No, I don't. All that lets me know is I just need more information. So no's aren't bad. Just say, no, I really don't understand. Okay, good. Let me get more information. One thing that I notice about American versus British evidential mediums is the Americans will spend long. Remember, we went to the park. Remember, it is, and it's really tempting to do. It's like exciting, but I kind of tend to be more the British, where once it's that person, I like to go in for the message, because don't we want to hear from heaven what they want to say? That's more important than me chatting a bit. So let me see who I have here. I've got a strong male here for you, and I feel like that this might be a father figure, your dad, and he stands here very strong and tall, and very proud. And I really feel like that you were the son he never had. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I'm a sports person, so
okay, all right. But he and that's meant, everything is meant in total love. But they have a sense of humor, and he just, because as this man presents himself, he is his person. Let's go into his personality, because he wants to jump on the message so bad. There's so much love for you, so much admiration. He wants to, and it's funny, they turn my head if it's the dad over here, and they turn the mother side over here. Why they do that, I don't know. And the friend right here. And so with him, he said, "Oh, there's a lot of people here for you." Okay, so we got to jump on this. Man, you have a lot of people over there. And so he's very he's kind of classy guy. He's kind of quiet. He's the silent type, but when he talks is real important. And he's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. And he's an observer of life. He watches people, and he doesn't like everybody. Now,
he did not.
In heaven, I'm sure he loves everybody, but in life, he didn't like everybody. Now, he wouldn't be ugly to them or say anything. He'd just leave them alone. But he was a very private person, and he didn't like people to get close up in his business. And what is the name with the W name? Walter William. What's the connection with that? Might not be him. I love how they have spirit Tourette's.
William's a family name.
Is that the last name?
No, Rebido.
Okay, well, what's the family name? Does that
a lot of the males have the name William in it.
William. Okay, got it. Would that be him as well?
No.
Okay. So, because this is how they bring in other people. My husband
Okay.
says, can't they just say, I got my brother here, my dad? I'm like, I
Exactly.
know, right? What the heck? I mean, come on, make
Doesn't
me
work
for
that
this.
way.
I know, it's crazy. So I feel as though his daddy's here, and also he's got a brother. There's a there's women here too, okay?
Okay.
But you're just really connected. I feel like on a soul level with your dad, y'all just have
Yep.
this thing. You just connect. I mean, you just jive. You have to know there's a lot of people here for you, and you're in a lot of love, and there's
Thank you.
females, but y'all have this thing going on together. So he wants to. He's talking about his hands. He worked with his hands, but he's got big hands or something. Do you understand? He's not really that big. I mean, he's thin, but he's got, I don't know, long fingers. He's laughing about it. He's laughing about it in life. Do you understand this? He had long fingers.
Yeah, I think I got that from him. I have long fingers.
You do? Okay. So that's the connection with you too.
That's
So
connection.
he's having a laugh over that because
Yeah,
he's
he
not
should.
especially a big person, but he's got long fingers, and he's laughing like they're like tentacles, and he's having a joke with that.
Like a penis.
So he's having he wants to give you a message. I'm pretty sure this is your dad here.
Okay.
So
It seems like it.
Sure seems like it. And there's some other people here as well.
Okay.
And okay. He sees what you're doing in life. Oh God, what do you want to tell me? They get personal, but look, we won't get too personal here.
It's okay. I'm open book, so
I'm polite about things like
thank
that.
You.
And if it was really personal and good stuff, I'd say I'll talk to you afterwards. Okay. Out of courtesy. He's saying that you are very focused on service of other people.
Absolutely.
And helping, and you're almost obsessed with this. And he says, and he's like, you're an angel. And he's like, God, and he's like, bless you, bless you. He's just like, wow, that's my daughter. And he's like, and I'm like, I don't know if you can feel it, and you're going to start feeling it probably in your heart, because he is really here and just loves you so much admiration in so many ways. He's watching you as your teacher, to be able to. He said that he was shy. He said, okay, I might have been afraid at times of things. He said, I was afraid of my own shadow. There wasn't really anything to be afraid of. He didn't come across like that.
No.
But he was just a bit shy, but he's watching you going, wow, look at her go. And there is a part of you that is a bit reserved, but you do it anyway. But one of the things he wants to talk to you about, and he just thank you for what you're doing. And he said, I brag about you to everybody here in heaven. They got a little wallet with your picture in it, and they go, look at her, look what she's doing. But he's bragging and said, she's with me. Look what she's doing. And they all know everything by thought at once. And you're a little earth angel. But he says that you don't take care of yourself, and that worries him. And he said that you also don't honor yourself for your own personal power or voice. And I'm asking if I can say this to him, because I get to say things too. And he said, yeah, go ahead. The I Am series really helps that. If you've ever heard the recorded thing with Gabriel, I am this, I am that. Actually, I did that driving. I was in like a God coma. I about went off the road. I wouldn't recommend it doing driving, but that will help a lot, because it's something like godly that happens. It'll really get you in your core there. But he says that it's okay to love yourself the way the world loves you, because the world loves you. And don't define yourself by what you've done. I don't know, like sports, or here's a title, there's a title, there's a title. He said, you're so much more than that. And by doing that, you limit your own spiritual progress here. And know it's okay to be vulnerable. He said, you're great. He said, he loves your laugh. And when you giggle, and he said, you got a great laugh. It's very infectious. You're one of those people. And your smile, he said, it's like sunshine. He said, but you, it's okay to be vulnerable. See, when we make mistakes, we could make a mistake, whatever. And, people identify with that, because they're not perfect either. So he's just saying that embrace it all. And as Jesus told me one time, he goes, embrace the good, bad, and the ugly, like that movie with Clint Eastwood. He said, because it's all you. It helps you to, all that makes you. He's just saying that you've worked hard for where you are, and you should be at peace with the beautiful progress that where you are in life, that you're given a lot of support on the other side. And so as you move forward, that you will continue to do that. And you also are doing something. I don't know if you're doing it now or not, or you will do it, but he's talking about, it feels like a charity, and it feels like with young children. And he said, and he's going, and he's winking. He goes, "That's my girl." What's he talking about?
Yeah, if you saw my resume, you'd understand what he was talking about. So one of the myriad things I do, I'm writing a book about my guide dog. So I trained seeing eye dogs, got one back. We worked as a pet therapy team at Maricopa Medical Center with children. And I'm currently writing the book, Wednesdays with Sadie, Miracles at Maricopa.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Oh, well, you're going to be doing a lot of things, and I do see this. That's amazing. I'm a big dog person.
Well, you like the book.
I never had human kids, but I've had tons of furry kids.
Furry kids.
Tons of furry kids, and so bless you on that.
Thank you.
He's talking about. He's showing me this. But he said, you want to travel, but you don't give yourself permission. So what I see, it looks like, bring them all along. It's almost like you're bringing some kids that are underprivileged, but they're special. I don't know if they're poor children. I don't know if they're like a little bit handicapped or learning disability. But you come up with something where you take them on a trip. And I see you walking on this hillside in this mountain, and he's showing me this scene. So you're like relentless at helping people. So I can't thank you enough, because I work my butt off, not just being a medium, but on the Seeking Heaven channel to and like Simon does, to have great guests and so forth, and to help people. And you're really stepping it up. He sent you his love. He loves you so much, and he wants to give you something. Hold on. What's he want to give you? Hold on. He wants to give you a gift.
I travel around the world helping children, from China to Croatia to Chiapas to Tibet. And it's not with organizations, it's with me and local people. I always bring stuff for the kids. Okay,
great. Well, we'll talk later afterwards. Another thing, because I have, God's put me in this great position where I'm putting people together that is like skyrocketing. I've always been that way, but I guess now's the time. So I'll definitely help you in some way with that. Let's see. I want to wrap up with this message. He's showing me your baby shoes, and then he's handing you my shoes, and he said, you filled it well.
Oh.
You filled his shoes. And I feel like you're the patriarch. Sorry, of the family. He was the patriarch. You're like in charge now. You're the one that the trusted one, the one that's always the nurturing, the diplomat. That it's you. And there's some military men in your family, and they're saluting you. They're saluting.
Thank you.
And they
I take care of my autistic brother.
That's where the learning disability.
I wonder if that's where. Yeah,
but you got a lot going on, man. I mean, like this.
I do.
I mean, you got a lot. I mean, you are really. Now I feel really bad. Simon, we got to step it up. We got to start some charities. We need to do something. I mean, Donna's just smoking us out.
I'm in the Basketball Hall of Fame. I played professional softball. I was a hospital chaplain. Raised seeing eye dogs. Travel the world for helping kids.
And you have the show. Tell everybody before you leave the show that you have.
I have Exploring Consciousness podcast. I had a near-death experience, so I'm a portal. And so...
Thank you for sharing that. And that's what we are.
Yeah. And then I download my guides, who I've known since I was 4, said, you're going to start this podcast. And it's to help beginners on their becoming aware, their awareness. And a lot of people say, I don't know where to start. If you go to exploreconsciousness.com is my companion website.
Exploreconsciousness.com
is the companion website. So it has all the podcasts, but I'm on all the major podcasts. The podcast itself is called Exploring Consciousness.
Fantastic. And I know Candace has something too. We've all got something. This is great. We can share. We can work together. We can network and
You
build
bet.
a better world.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. So look, I want
Yeah.
you on the show.
I want you
Candace,
on my show. You and
well, I
Simon are
want
going to
you
be
on
on
my show. I know Simon's
Okay.
awesome. He's acting all humble, but he's like, bam, there's a lot of
Bam.
powerhouse. He knows a lot. He's very
Okay.
aware. So, but yeah, I love what you're doing. We will
Thanks,
talk
man.
more. Thank
You
you. I
bet.
hope you enjoyed
Thank you.
your little mini reading.
Thank you, Dad. I miss you greatly. I was a professional athlete, so he was really proud. He was really proud of
Really proud. He's with you a lot, and I know you feel his presence, and he's with
Yeah.
you because the animals see him and react when he's in the room. Do you understand this?
Yeah, Sadie, my guide dog there. Hi, Sadie. I love you, man. I miss you every day.
Well, now that you mention that, yeah, I mean, he
probably
but he's
got
not.
her.
It's not just with him. He's got guys, and they're playing with the dogs. But I'm talking about your dogs now. They
Oh, my
react
dad.
differently and look at the wall and act differently. Like, what are they looking at? It's him, and he likes playing with the animals. So just know he's with you a
Thank you.
lot. Sends you
Thank
tremendous
you.
love. He sees everything you're doing, and he's actually learning from you. And they're saluting you in love, all your military family. So God bless you. Thank you so
God
much,
bless you.
Donna.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
you.
love you.
Thank you for your time. Much love to
Thanks.
you.
Love you.
So, Tamara, do we have somebody else that we'll be doing a reading for this evening?
We do. We have Candace, who is awesome. I mean, you thought Donna was awesome. No wonder you're friends. Candace is such a wonderful, bubbly person. Thank you for setting up, because at the last minute we had someone, they couldn't make it, a doctor's appointment. And then Candace said, I have someone, and we'll be there. And so thank you for setting that up.
You're welcome. I knew she would be perfect. So this was
perfect.
great.
And I really like her family. Usually I tell them they can leave, but I really like her dad. I'm like, he's cool. And usually when that happens, I'm usually become friends with someone, because then what happens is their family meets my family. I'm like, and they hang around a while. That's usually the sign that
Perfect.
isn't that cute?
It
You see how
is.
we're connected in heaven and on earth.
And it's
Well-
all about the connections, isn't it? And Simon, very nice meeting you. Tamara, it's great to see you again.
Oh, you
Thanks
too.
a lot.
And let me plug you real quick before we begin. We are going to have you on next Thursday on the Seeking Heaven channel, talk about the reluctant messenger and your story and how you became awakened, boom, all of a sudden, and now you get messages from heaven. And so, this can happen to you. And then we're going to do the live chat next Friday, which you're going to talk about your angel experiences in your second book, The Reluctant Messenger Return. So, Simon, she would be good because she's so bubbly. She's so awesome. I mean, she's fun. You'll find out. I mean, and you would really like her. Don't see, this is how I do people. I'm like a family. Come on, you should, they're good. They're nice. You should play with these kids out here. They're very good. They come from a good family. All right. So, are you ready for your family? Goodness, I don't know who's going to show up.
Absolutely. I'm ready. Bring it on.
All right. Okay. Well, so, I get what I get and I can't edit it. I mean, I try to be polite, when I'm bringing it through, but I can't edit this. Let me tell you who's here first. Hey,
Okay.
It is what it is. I'm getting a slew of angels. I'm getting, first of all, I'm getting Gabriel, and he said that he works with both of us, and he's the messenger guide. I'm getting Raziel. I'm not particularly sure why. I'm also seeing a blue haze, Michael, with you.
Oh, wow.
You work with Shamel with the heart, is what I'm being told. Shamel.
That gave me cold chills.
Did it? He used
Yes.
to work with me a lot during my and people. And I want to say this: all of us here, including Donna, we can't see, she's in the virtual green room. We've all worked on ourselves spiritually a lot. Okay, so it's not like this that boom, it happened. The light bulb went off. So I worked with him a lot during healing and abuse and stuff. He worked with me a lot. They're all around, but this is who's working with you a lot now with the heart, because you're trying to communicate with Gabriel with the heart to people, because you can't connect spiritually here. You have to do it through the heart source. And so you are really working very closely. Oh my God. Jesus is here. He loves you. Oh my God. He's
Welcome.
a love bug. He's a love bug. Um, and so is Mother Mary, which is always interesting to me because I wasn't raised Catholic. I'm like, well, she's here, but she has a very, she's usually around also too, sometimes with females, difficulty, pain, around children. And oh my gosh, okay. You got a deeper reading. Great. If we go over like 10 minutes, guys, this is going to be kind of cool. See, this is what I mean. You go where the person wants to go, not to say it can't go deeper and all that, but this is where you are. So your grandmother is here. Now, and I feel as though you also have a mother here, but your grandmother, I don't know if you're closer to your grandmother, but she steps forward and she's like, and she's like acknowledging she's with Mother Mary. Now, I don't know if there's Catholic going on there. I don't know the connection or what have you, but she goes, oh yeah, it's okay. But I'm feeling as though the grandmother, and I'll describe her to you. You have several people here for you. And I feel mom, grandmother, there's more people, but I'm not going to look at them behind me. I'm going to look right here because they're talking about tragedies you've been through in life and how proud she is of you. But I see they wanted to jump in the message, but I got to give you some evidence so you know. So, all right. So this would be your, okay. So this would be your mother's mother. Is what I'm feeling. Now I could be wrong, but I get it by how it feels, kind of like you do when you see two people together. Oh, they act like sisters, you know. So I feel like it's your grandmother of your mother's mother, and she was more, I guess you would say, we can say, I guess religious because they didn't have that word spiritual back then. But
Right.
she didn't push it on people or anything like that. But she had her own private uh, feelings about God and all that. And she was pretty devout and faithful. Do you understand this?
I do. I didn't know her very well because I was, fairly young when she passed.
Okay. Well, she said something about pearls in the family. Now, when they say something, one thing can mean several things. This is one of those. So she said pearls. I think you're the pearl. The next thing is the pearl. Is there is now most of the times they mention objects in life. They're usually like 9 out of 10 times not worth a lot of money. They're more sentimental. But she's mentioning pearls, so I don't know if she's got a kind of a pearl set. You remember like in the 40s and 50s they would have they would make them really nice, but they weren't real.
Right,
Those.
right.
And I think, I don't know if your mom got them and then you got them, but she said you've got a sister. What's she talking about?
I have a sister who's passed, but the pearls,
Okay.
I have a picture of my mother when she was young, and she has on a set of pearls.
Oh, got it. Okay. And so the pearls did exist. I don't know where they are.
Yes.
I don't know. Do you know where
No,
they are? Probably not. Okay, good. That's fine.
well, maybe.
Maybe question mark. I told Simon and I were talking. Spirit loves to put people on treasure hunts. Like you got it. They'll tell me a lot of times the gold bracelet is with your aunt, and then they'll call and they go, "It's there." So they do that just so they can show they're here. But the pearl, this is one of those things. So you're the pearl. She had on pearls. You recognize that photograph. There are pearls. It's I don't know who has these pearls, but you do see how they brought in the sister through the pearls. Why? Who? Because she got the pearls. Your sister got the pearls, and she's on the other side, correct?
I don't know if my sister got the pearls, but I do have a sister on the other side.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So as soon as you did that, they did something else. They're so simple but deep. They can talk in complexities because they're multidimensional beings. Wow, more than me. So I got to be up on my game. Now they're showing me a pearl thread like peas in a pod. They're showing grandmother, mother, sister, like a string of pearls. And
okay.
said that you are now they're showing me at a bead and they're saying you're one of the pearls on the bead and said that you're like the four musketeers that you have to be together. Now I want to go back to the grandmother, even though you might not have known her or you might have been a little girl when she passed, right?
Yes.
You were young. Okay.
Right.
So when this happens, I'll give them something now to say what you're doing so they're there. But I'm going to tell you first why she's here. She said you have, well, first of all, your soul family, just because you don't remember it all, you are. She's very gentle. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this. Would you know if I tell you some things, her basic personality, and would you get an idea of stories you've heard?
Probably, yes.
Okay. Okay, good. So she, again, was very faithful, really into family. Again, she wasn't preachy. She's kind of quiet. She wasn't a preachy person. She just had a very grounded view of God and then
Okay.
family. And she was a very gentle, kind woman. And she liked doing things for other, but more on a simple level, like cooking and helping here and there where she could. She had a generosity of spirit about herself. And she had almost, and I'm feeling, I don't, where am I getting this? I'm feeling a nun-like quality. Don't know if she came from some family of nuns but I'm really feeling a nun quality. I'm feeling like nun. So I don't know. Would you know if you're on your mom's side, there is some type of, because I'm seeing nuns and I'm seeing monastery. Would you understand this? You being in your family history?
Not that I know of. That's going to require me to do a little investigation.
Because I don't get this always. I got it one other time with someone, and they found out, and they go, "No, I'm not Catholic." But what it was, she lived at a place that used to be a monastery, and she picked up
Okay.
a lady that's her guide, and she actually said, "You got a cross?" She goes, "Yeah." She found it in the ground. So there, but I feel it's your family.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is your grandmother. I heard the word holy. She was like holy, and you have a purity of spirit like her, and that's why they chose you. She prays for
Wow.
you on the other side and intercedes. She has she pulls them together for you, angels, family, and they intercede for you, and they help you energetically to open this portal. Now, I know your portal's good. That's why I like you. Donna's got a good portal. My portal's really good. Not all
Right.
portals are good. I just want to FYI that to people. Not all portals are good, but these are like the higher realm, beautiful love, God, all that. So she's with you. Do you understand your mom being in spirit?
Yes.
Okay. They both love you. You know, they're here because tremendous love, tremendous support. They're really helping you on the other side. She's saying, I'm sorry, I could not be more of a support to you. She's saying at times your mom liked things. She's telling me certain types of ways. She she just had to have things in place. She didn't like things out of order. Things just had to be just so. And because of that, it made her a little. What is OCD? Made her a little uptight about things. And she said
Okay.
she didn't mean to be fussy about stuff, but that was her own personal issues. But that was her way of control to having a nice home and so forth. And she wanted to have a proper place for her kids to grow up. Does this make sense?
It does. It does.
Okay. Okay. So it's kind of an apology here. Like, sorry, I was a little obsessed with the house cleaning and the house and not, when I needed to be more present time with you and my family. She says that she was younger, you favored. You look like you looked at when she
Oh,
was younger, you favored.
yes. Yes. I actually have a twin sister. We're fraternal, and I look like my mother on the mother side of the family. My twin is on the father side of the family. Yes,
Mm,
we certainly
okay.
favor.
So she's saying, you're welcome. That's cute. And I see her as a very classy woman, almost dressing, I don't know, preppy, but like a socialite, just a classy lady. And
Yes.
and I feel as though we're not going to go too much into it. And plus, I don't like representing, our loved ones in spirit. Bad times, a lot talked about good times, but she did have something that was health-wise disease that took her down, and she said, "I'm
Right.
sorry that I can't be there." She has a couple. Gosh, you got a lot of people over there too. No wonder you and Don are friends. Oh my god! Oh my god! We got to wrap this up, guys. Okay. Okay. So she's got a couple. She said, "Please, just a little longer." She sends you her love. She's sorry. I think you must have been one of the main caregivers. So let's finish this with your mom because she's saying, thank you. I'm sorry you had to see that. Do you understand her message? Yes. She
Yes.
loves you,
Yes.
loves you, loves you. She said, I'm totally great now. And she's showing me, she's got a little waist. She goes, I'm having the time of my life. Okay. And I feel like she's doing a dance, like it's a 50s sock hop, but it's a little classier party than that. And she's doing chubby checkers twist, and she looks really good. She's got a little waist. And she said, I'm having the time of my life. Everybody's here. It's so much fun. So she sends her love. She's with you a lot. Again, they come as a group. Well, they do with a lot of us, but they really, like, again, strings of a pearl. She also has your sister here. Who is the J name? Like Jennifer?
Jana, that's
Jana.
my sister on the other
That's your
side.
sister.
Yes.
Okay, good. So she is here as well. And God, you can't make this up. She's now all in play, but she wants to slap you in the head. And she's it's like a love thing. I don't understand it. She's like, hey, it's like something you did as a kid. And she said, she's just being playful with you, very playful. And she said that you thought that she would be with you always. And you must have said this. You must have said this because she's responding to it saying, I am. So part of the reason that you have opened up is two things. You're pure of heart. Hey, take note, guys. This is what you get with that. The other thing is with the pure of heart, you've got the support over there, but also they want to still communicate with you too. And so this is, you love them so much. We're bound by the love. That's why many times someone has a loss and they'll start communicating with spirit because they really want to communicate with them. So that's what happens.
Yeah. It's all about love, isn't it?
It's all about love. And you do talk to her and you do talk to her, and she's with you a lot. And she is also one of your supporters. You say guides. I don't like using that word, teachers. No, she's not. You're actually one of their teachers. So kind of like they're learning from you, but they're also helping. And this is kind of a back and forth. You also have your mother is bringing forth, and I wish I could shorten it. She loves you a lot, but she's with you a lot, and she says you know it too. You know, she's around your sister. Yeah. And it's not like she's going anywhere. These people are not going anywhere, okay? They're going home with you. But there is a man that your mother is bringing forward. And she said, he's a handsome man. She said, boy, what a handsome man. And I feel like he's presenting himself in a proper way, as though he might be courting you. And he's got a suit on, almost like, and I'm asking, what does this suit look like? And he's giving me all these. I said, what about Dick Van Dyke? He goes, and he's like, no. He's saying that's like stupid looking. And I'm like, okay. I said, what about James Bond? He said, closer. He said, I like the Sean Connery one. Oh my God. These are the conversations I have with your family. And so he's presenting you with a bouquet of 24 red roses.
Oh.
And he said, you are my first love and my always love. And he says, moments of sadness will be replaced by true joy. I'm with you always. I just want for your highest good and your happiness. And I thank you for our children, because they are not only are they our offspring, but they are the seeds of the flower that grow in this world that will nourish others to love such as we, because our love was great. And this sounds like a husband.
Yes, it is.
And he said, it's okay. And he's also encouraging you. Oh God, here we go. He's encouraging you that I know you love me and I'll always love you. And there's no question on that, but we can't have the arrangement we have right now. So it's okay. I would prefer someone to watch over you, although you're very independent and you don't like that idea always.
Right.
And he said, but I want that. I would like that, because no one should be left alone. And I would like to assist with that. Don't ask me how they do it, but they do. And he said, Jesus is here. Again, don't do eHarmony, do Jesus. They're so good about this. I don't know how they do it. But he's saying that you are stubborn. Sometimes you're very stubborn, and you're not.
Oh, yes.
you're not betraying me. You're not betraying me or my love. That this is something separate. It's difficult being here. I get it. I really want someone to help you and be around in life, and someone that I would like. So please allow me to assist with that, because I love you. I haven't stopped loving you. It's okay. It's just a different thing now. Don't get hung up. What we once were, we're going to always be, but in a different manner.
Right.
Do you understand this message from him?
Oh, not only do I understand it, it's not the first time he's told me that. I mean, I went to a medium a few years ago, and Tamara, it was almost verbatim, where he's coming in and saying,
You didn't listen.
right. I'm ready for you to move on. I mean, so yes, I do understand it.
And do you
It's
understand
like
about
deja vu.
the 24 roses? But he comes to you like a proper like date, like he's got a suit. He goes, this is how I want her to see me, in a proper suit. And it's like a very tailored style, proper suit, nothing too trendy, nothing dorky, like nice looking, where he would feel good about himself. And he looks to be 32. And
Okay.
he looks about that age. He says, I didn't like, well, I look younger. I look older. And so he sends his love to you and the girls. You have girls?
I have a girl and a boy, but then I have the girls, which are the grandchildren, his grandchildren.
Oh,
And
gosh.
the little one just turned 5 yesterday. It was her birthday.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So he's acknowledging the new babies, not just the children you had. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. He's with you a lot. He wants to take it a step further. And here's the thing. If you go to a medium, and if you have someone give an apology, or if they're giving you a message, if you don't really listen, here they are again.
Right.
Here they are. Here you go. He wants to say something a little bit more. It doesn't feel finished, and then we're done. And you always know how to get in touch with me as well.
Right.
But he's saying it starts with you. Okay, now I'm seeing why you and Donna are friends. You have the same issue. You're so busy giving that, taking care of yourself is having a nice fish meal, because that's not what I'm talking about. He's saying deeper. He's saying that there's a part of you doesn't feel like you deserve that and happiness. I don't know where it comes from. Doesn't really matter. I mean, we all have issues. Doesn't matter. Most people have that on some level, but and some guilt associated with it. And he goes, it is not real. He goes, I don't know why he's like real frustrated. He said, I don't know, you're beautiful. Why would you limit your beauty? And you're a wonderful, loving woman. Why would you not have someone appreciate that? And he said, I'm fine with that. They're different. They're ascended. You know that.
Right.
And you think, oh gosh, do we need to cover that? It's not the same as with here. It's not the same, like, married, lost sex. They're ascended, different plane, different reality. This is not the game. We're talking about a higher love. So he just wants you to be happy. He says that he wants you to search your soul. And he said, in there, he said that is beauty. He said, but don't be afraid to hold up the mirror to see the beauty that I see, because first you have to see it before someone else will. And he said, and at that point, the right person will come, and you will know because they will smile. And when they smile, you'll see me smiling through them. And I think it's because he's like a kindred spirit with this person he's going to bring to you, and you're going to feel they're a lot like him. And he's like, yeah, I want someone that would be like a brother to me, that would feel that I like. He said, after all, I'm going to hang around him. Might as well like him, because he's never really leaving you. So he's always right. Now, does this final little bit make sense? He's wants you, he's encouraging you to move on.
It certainly makes sense. And the part you say about the smile, and I'll see the smile in him, that's what first attracted me to my husband. He had this most beautiful, infectious smile and beautiful sense of humor and these beautiful dimples, but it was his smile. So that really hits home when you say that.
Yeah. And he's still very present. Again, they can multitask, be there and here. He's such a part of you. They see what you're doing. They give you support. But we've got to, and I get it. Look, I struggle with taking time for me and all that. Look, I mean, I'm like the pot calling the kettle black. I'm like, but I recognize it. I see it. And whether it's, being with someone else or whatever you need to do, we need to honor what we need in this world. So we
Right.
it's okay to be happy. I guess that's the message. It's okay to move on and be happy. And life changes, our needs change, our who we are changes. So know that you're getting a lot of support on the other side. And I'm curious about the nun connection because I'm seeing it. I don't know what that is, but we'll find out. So I hope you enjoyed your reading today.
Oh, I did. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you so much, Candace. And see Candace next Thursday and Friday. She's amazing on the Seeking Heaven channel. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
God bless
Bye-bye.
y'all. Thank you, Donna. And I love your friend too. Cool. She's awesome. Okay, take care.
Well, that's been great. It's so interesting to see that happening, and also you really gave more time as well. It was rescheduled for a less time than that, but you kept on bringing more information through. That was really great. And so when we do these 2 evening sessions, well, not evening for you, evening for me. There's one at 2 p.m. and one at 7 p.m. EST on May the 22nd. And people can go to my website and click on the mediumship demonstration button at the top and get through where they can buy the tickets for $29.99. And
right. What a deal. What a deal.
Yeah.
It is. And you saw that. I go where they take me to, and I gave a little bit more, and that's how I am. I'm not going to go, oh, we're over. Everyone, it will feel complete in some way. Spirit knows what they're doing. It'll feel complete. Each matter of fact, what is it, the 2 and the 7 p.m.? We did that on May 22nd because Simon and I went back and forth. And I said, well, you're UK, I'm US, people at 7 o'clock in the UK would be what time? 12 midnight?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the people on Saturday night, 7 o'clock in the US and different part would probably like that. So that's why we had both. And then we realized there's enough healing for everyone. Plus each session is going to be different because energetically you have different people there that need to hear different things. So it'll be for whatever uniquely those people need to hear. But it's interesting. You could even begin to see a little bit of a theme with Candace and Donna, and you could see their relationship. I'm like, oh my God, you can see why they were attracted to one another. I think that's so cute. But, and it's amazing how much love and support we get on the other side, and they see everything we're doing. They see our struggles. They see, here's the thing people don't understand. It's transparent. They're in spirit form, so they can hear all our thoughts, your friends' thoughts. They know everything instantly. That's just the nature of spirit. So it's very important, I believe, to keep clean thoughts about yourself and about the world and try not to be in a state of upset, because usually what happens, it'll come through in a reading and your grandmother or your they're gonna be like, look, you need to have better self-love talk. Because it's true. They hear all these things and they want us to be happy, and they're kind of right. We need to keep it, catch ourselves and go, okay, that's right. We're only here for so long. Come on, let's don't be hard on ourselves. But yeah, these things are very healing, but in different levels, because some things may be very simple to someone, but it may heal their heart on a deeper level. A real quick example was someone I was reading. It was a guy. You could tell he's never had a reading. He was in the car doing a reading. So, he's secret. He's like, I don't want my wife or anyone to know this. And so we're going through, I'm giving him all this evidence, places, names, attributes. He's going, yeah. Okay. He's still not impressed at all. I mean, he's not mean. He's just, I don't know. This is new to him. It's, but people come to spiritual awakenings and at different points. So we go through it, but you know what gets him? His dog came through. That was, you could see a little movement there. But when his dog brought him the red ball to play with, the guy hysterically started crying. It was the red ball. He goes, I love that dog. We play with the red ball all the time. And that's what was real to him. No, not the places and the names and it was the dog. So this is not for me. I try to get out of the way and let God and Spirit do it, because they are really better at it than me. My training is learning how to listen better and how to handle the energy. And you move back, you step forward, and you need to speak out. If you're not speaking out, I'm going to bring your mom back in. Your dad's a good spokesperson. if you don't, we're on a time thing. And then I have people that actually organize this, like in a bullet together too. So I just have to be a extremely good listener and move with the energy and learn to trust. They have it all set up. So I hope you can come May 22nd and receive a reading. And if you're not prepared to receive a reading, some people will get their reading the exact message from someone else because they're too chicken to, they're a little shy when it comes down to it. And that's okay too, because spirit can do that. Spirit can multitask and multiple healings being done on different levels.
Well, I thank you for taking part in this and, coming to where we're working together to put this evening together, because it was originally kind of like my idea and I thought I'd organize it, but you're so good at all this stuff and we're working together to bring this online. And I built that little web page and
yeah, it looks good, Simon. Yeah, you did good.
I think it's going to be a really fascinating time to see all this happening, and you'll be giving all these readings for people. Not everybody's guaranteed a reading, but we can also ask other questions about mediumship and how that all works and how it all comes to you as well.
Well, it is a spiritual session, and so anytime that is, to me, it's sacred. Like walking and into whether it's your meditation chamber or into a church or whatever you think is holy, this is holy. And so I'm here to serve as a vessel. Yeah, I'll make jokes because I'm still in there, but I try to be as pure to the message that they want you to have, and I work very hard not to alter what they say and say it and give it as I get it, because that's integrity, and it comes through cleaner for you. So they're powerful. I mean, because they're powerful to me. I'm just a vessel. I always say I'm God's love puppet. I have no idea what they have plans. I just have to show up and trust that it's beautiful, and it always is.
Yeah, it's amazing that you get that through, and there's no kind of negativity there.
Ever.
I think if anything dark, you don't work with that side of things, do you?
Oh gosh, it creeps me out. I have stayed before at a brand new fancy place, but it was right near a graveyard, and it had ghosts. And I moved. I don't like stuff like that. It freaks me out. So these are not ghosts. These are our family members that are on the other side. Exactly what you probably think it is. It is. It is. Well, what I saw in my near-death experience, it looked like paradise. And there was no want and need of anything. It was just glorious to be in the presence of the divine, and the colors were beautiful, and it was just like a perfect day. When you're really happy, like it's a really perfect day, and you're like, wow, what a perfect day. It's like that every day. It's hard to explain because we don't live. We see moments of it, but we don't live like that here.
Yeah. Well, I think we've used up all the time that we were going to use this evening. We've gone over time, actually, which is really kind of you to give us so much time this evening. And is there anything else that we need to know before we go?
Well, I think we should tell people that we decided, again, we're a work in progress. We're going along with this. We're following the spirit. We're offering this. And I was like, sure, we'll put it out there. Why not? But we decided to do another one of these Thursday. And I'm going to read a couple people, maybe 3. And so that will be next Thursday from 2 to 3. And it may go to 3:15. Here's the thing. If someone's in the middle of something really good for them that their soul needs, I'm not going to break it, because that's just, to me, unethical. Although I know I need to, as the medium, I need to get on with it. But I also try to be considerate of people's needs. And these are important things people need to hear, and I want to honor that time they have with their family. So join us next Thursday, same place at 2 to 3. And thank you, Simon, for hosting this, and your brilliant idea. And I'm excited about doing this with you, because you are just, what you're doing with the Past Life podcast, and you have such a good reputation. Like every time I mention your name, they go, "Oh, Simon, he's great." And that says a lot. You have a lot of respect in the industry, and a lot of people really love you and love you for what you do. And you have a lot of integrity, and you try to do a good, clean show that's inspiring and really cool, interesting guests. So, and then doing this, I appreciate it.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. It's been a really interesting evening. I look forward to next week as well.
Oh, me too. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Simon. And we'll see you
Thanks.
next Thursday at 2. Oh,
Yeah.
and then today at 4, let me one quick thing, 4:00 p.m. Wendy Rose Williams is coming on, which Wendy's your friend too. Wendy's been on check out the Past Life podcast. What is it? .co.uk. Is that
Yeah.
the one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's on there too, but she's coming on at 4 in the live chat tomorrow, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So join me, and then check out Simon's Past Life podcast too. It's good. Take
Thanks a
care,
lot.
guys. Bye-bye. Much love.
Bye.